All right, guys. So here's your host, David, and I'm here on the Cerebral Palsy and Fitness podcast with Veronica. She is the founder of UPANOTCH Abilities. So I'm looking forward to learning about her background, and of course, the positive things she's contributing to her community. So welcome, Veronica.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how was your upbringing and your disability. How did that come into factor for your success?
Well, like David said, my name is Veronica Montgomery. I currently live in San Diego. I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I was actually born with cerebral palsy. I had my first surgery when I was 5 years old. Some of the obstacles that I faced mostly that were most challenging to me is being able to um, be considered the type that is able to keep up with the other students. So back in San Antonio, they had classrooms where people with disabilities had to go in because they didn't feel that they were able to do certain things that other students could. My mom advocated for me and, had me in the classrooms with everyone else. The most challenging part is the teasing and the bullying.
Okay.
Like all of us, we go through those stages that we just can't help. It's out of our control. So, I kind of felt like it made me a little stronger than what I was. And being brought up with my brothers and sisters, I'm the oldest of five. And so they never treated me any different. So I kind of felt like I was able to, if they were able to go through the bullying, I was able to do it as well. So I kind of kept up with them so that way it can make me feel better and me be stronger in the sense of trying to overcome those obstacles. Then when I made it to high school, I was in pep squad. I kind of advocated for
Oh,
myself in the sense of being able to try out and have that opportunity. So I was on the pep squad team for my freshman year, which was really cool. It was tough, but it was something that I wanted, and I went out and got it. So yeah, my dream has always really been to help others, and I felt like growing up, there wasn't very many opportunities to help individuals like myself. There wasn't very much accessibility. There wasn't any services, any type of therapy. My mom wasn't very knowledgeable of these types of things either. Growing up, you kind of just back in that era, it
yeah.
was just kind of go with the flow type of thing. Um, Nowadays, we have all these, things available to us. So it brings me like to a whole new world. So my lifelong dream has always been to help others and to give what I wasn't able to have. So I founded Up a Notch. I went into social services when I moved here, helping other individuals with disabilities. And I felt like I was surrounded by my people, and it made me kind of go bigger and broader in my dream. And I wanted to start my own service where I taught other individuals how to be independent. Because like myself, I'm 38 years old. I've been married for going on 13 years now. I have
Wow,
two children.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I have two children. I have a 17-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter. Um, I never imagined being married and having children myself because I was always told by doctors that I wouldn't be able to. So now it's my dream to kind of let others know that it is possible, and there's nothing that should be able to stop any of us to have that.
That's uh that's beautiful. You and I have a lot of things in common as far as, like, for example, our moms trying to help us through our educational journeys,
Mhm,
the obstacles we face as far as accessibility in the classroom.
mhm.
Um, what kind of CP do you have? I'm a spastic hemi.
Yeah, I have spastic cerebral palsy as well. It's mild in my lower extremities. I do experience some stiffness, some aches and pains in the mornings. I have like a small jerk when I walk. Through physical therapy, I've been able to kind of control that jerk as much as I used to have it, only because now I'm knowledgeable of the things that I can do to assist me in not being in so much pain. Um, so yeah, it's mild. I drag my left foot a little more than my right foot. So you can just imagine how many pairs of shoes I go through a year.
Oh yeah, I go through a lot of them
But
too.
it's kind of comes with the territory. So I kind of just embrace it and kind of go for the fashionable wedge shoes because it kind of supports me a little better because I'm already on my tippy toes. So those are kind of, the balance side is a little more delicate, I guess, because I don't use any aids. I currently don't use any aids. Um, I I can walk independently. However, there's some moments where I kind of like have to catch myself and kind of hang on to some stuff because I'll just all of a sudden like lose my balance. But that's kind of how my CP is.
Okay, so it's not as bad as mine is. Like I have to wear AFOs and I use a crutch to walk. But
Mhm.
other than that, I'm pretty much capable of doing, anything else like normally around the house and like
Yeah.
outside in the yard. And there are a few things where I ask for help for, like I can't do landscaping, all that stuff. So there's somebody usually that cuts out the lawn and do
Yeah.
stuff that I can't do, but in that, I'm pretty much capable. It's just
Yeah.
and the thing in society when it comes to us is a lot of people underestimate what we can do, our abilities.
Yes.
As you mentioned earlier, like
Yes.
a lot of people in society, like to diminish what we can do,
Right.
our ceiling. Like you and I, we had a struggle going through education. Like I don't know about you, but I started in special ed because
Yeah.
the doctor said I wasn't capable of being as bright and as intelligent as I am.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the good thing is I had family that was like, he's more than that. So let's keep on pushing him. So I'm pretty sure you
Yes.
went through it too.
Yes, yes. And that was the hard part for me because I really didn't understand, at 5 years old, you're thinking, I'm so excited, I'm about to make friends. And then they're like, no, 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 we're gonna go ahead and separate you to this side and the kids are gonna be kids. And I'm like, why? I'm a kid too. And I would cry and cry and cry until my mom went and finally, said, no, enough is enough. She doesn't belong in those classes. She's capable like everyone else. Just push her to her limits and she'll show you. So, one of the highlights of my elementary years that I can recall was just that my mom advocating for me as far as being able to be in the other classes. And I was actually chosen to read books to the kindergartners after they got to know me because I was bilingual. So I was reading Spanish books to the first grade and kind of made my name, I guess you could say, in elementary. And that's where they kind of started to see that I wasn't your average, person that they saw with disabilities.
Yeah, it's incredible what the power of an advocate can do for you. Like
Yes.
my stepmom used to advocate for me all the time. There are times where I'd be like, Mom, you're over advocating. Let me do what I need to do on my own. I can do it. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure you went through it too, right?
Oh, yes. And I still sometimes, I'll go visit my mom in Texas and she'll be a little like, oh, be careful, like, oh, deep. And I'm like, it's okay. I got it. She's like, okay, well, fine, do it then. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want. That's, I want that to always follow because I have learned now as an older adult to kind of be like, hey, if I need help, I'm going to ask you. If you can help me, if you can't, that's okay too. I'm going to find a way, but I'm asking for help so I possibly won't fall here, because I want to save myself.
Definitely, definitely. So when it comes to Is it up a notch is how you pronounce it?
Yes, up a notch.
So when you first started it, did you is it something for just to start up in Texas, or do you plan on taking it maybe like worldwide or maybe statewide to every state?
I currently am trying to, well, I'm working with clients of San Diego Regional Center here in San Diego who have self-determination services. I'm not sure if they have that in Florida with the San Diego Regional Center.
That's a good question. I have to research that for you.
Yeah, well, it's a program where they actually help individuals with disabilities have funding and services. Now, these services are created into their own budget, and now they're able to drive their own budget with the help,
Oh,
the assistance of FMS services and independent facilitator services. So they're able to hire who they choose to assist them in becoming independent. Like, for instance, teaching them life skills, teaching them how to cook, how to clean, how to wash, how to advocate for themselves at the grocery store, for instance, if they're not able to locate something or they're not understanding how the machine works. Trying to teach clients to um, I guess, get to their full potential in the sense of what their abilities are. So I decided that up a notch kind of fitted because I'm taking their abilities and taking it up a notch each time I have a meeting with them. So, like, currently, I have a client who is not he has autism and he doesn't cook, for instance, on the stove because of the flame and the oil and jumping. So I got creative and decided to teach him recipes with the air fryer. So we're taking the same type of recipes and foods that he ate before without being able to cook them and making them in the air fryer. So that's a type of independence he's gaining now.
hey, you can't go wrong with the air fryer. Like
Yeah,
it serves a huge purpose. Like if you were to look at my kitchen,
yeah,
I don't use a stove, but everything that I have in my kitchen is countertop appliance. So
yes,
I have the oven, I have a George Foreman grill, I have the microwave, I have a rice cooker. I have
yeah.
everything you need to just cook a
Push a
whole,
button. Yeah,
you know, cook a
yeah.
whole meal. And like, I review products too that you can use with one hand, one touch operation too.
I'm always looking for convenience also because I've noticed now that I'm getting older, I'm having to lean a lot more towards the counter so that way I can take care of stuff. I have a huge passion for cooking, so I my kitchen is like my safe haven. I love being in there. But now I'm trying to utilize like that, the one button appliances, countertop appliances, so that way I can feel more comfortable in not burning the kitchen down because it can be a lot sometimes. And I love to cook and I'm always cooking multiple things at once. So I'm kind of trying to utilize the air fryer a lot more than I used to.
Yeah, it's not only that, but for us, it's also the hassle of cleaning because I don't know about you, but when it comes to cleaning like appliances, oh my, it's a nightmare. It's a
Look, we
nightmare.
both put our hands on our face at the same time.
Like I try to when I invite people over, like I'm like, okay, so we're using plastic cups, paper, paper plates, everything, because I'm not cleaning. I'm not.
Well, lucky for me, I have some roommates that are 17 and 14 that I can just be like, hey, can you wash the dishes now?
Yeah, I mean, I do wash dishes. Just I hate when it piles up. When you have people over and it piles up, and it's like
Yes.
it takes me like an hour.
I am not, it's not my favorite mom chore to do, but I try to keep up with it because I just like washing dishes so much. But then sometimes I feel like I'm washing dishes every day and I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with this picture. So I got to kind of throw in the kids, but I definitely understand about the dishes because it's not my favorite thing to do.
Especially when you have real use of like one hand, and you're trying to
Yeah,
wash everything.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know about you, but I personally don't like the dishwashers. I feel like they don't do the job. And I end up having to
No,
wash the dishes again
because they
after
miss
they've
a lot of
already
spots,
been.
right?
Yes, yes. And I'm just like, no, just might as well wash them by hand.
Right, right. Do, when it comes to your organization, does it cater just to adults, or can children kind of can parents apply for their children to kind of as in like they're about to graduate high school, but they need that extra step to kind of help them move ahead towards
The
the future?
transition, the transition.
Can they apply like to receive those
Well,
things?
currently I don't have like a type of application services. I do want to build that only because I feel like not only I probably wouldn't be able to just serve the community of San Diego Regional Center, but other people in the community itself, like around the San Diego area. But I'm right now just one person trying to
Oh, okay.
maneuver that. And it's always been a dream for me to say, oh, before I turn 40, I'm going to have something, extraordinary, an extraordinary foundation. And this is my dream. This is what it is. This is like, I wake up in the morning and I'm happy just because I'm doing this. I go to sleep at night because I'm happy because I'm doing this. It's more rewarding for me and something that reminds me that even though I didn't have this growing up, I know that I'm able to provide this growing up. So right
Right.
now I am working with adults who are transitioning, but clients with the program and the self-determination. And hopefully later on, I'll be able to open it up to everyone and be able to help with that because I also help out with starting micro businesses. And, it's not nothing huge that they possibly could go franchise for maybe, but it's just making t-shirts or stickers or cups and stuff like that, just to kind of teach them that sense of independence as well, because we all crave for independence in our own way. And I feel like
Right.
everyone can do it in their own way and it can still be successful.
Right. Like the other day I had someone I guess message me, and they were talking about how, how in theme parks we have some form of accessibility as far as like power chairs and certain
Mhm,
areas of the park where it's like accessible to those with disabilities. And they brought
mhm.
up a good point. What if you're by yourself? What if you go by yourself? You're in a wheelchair, but you can't really get out of the chair to enjoy the rides or anything like that. Like considering that you're a theme park that makes millions of dollars a year, why not hire somebody that can go around with the park with you, and in case you need that extra boost of, hey, I need to transfer from the chair to the ride, or the chair to like, a table or
Yeah,
anywhere,
that's a good point. I do see that they're very hands-on as far as providing your 60 to $80 rental for the day, but not eager to assist. I noticed it when we rent chairs at SeaWorld or at the zoo. It's like, okay, here you go, here's your chair, goodbye. And it's like, okay, what if? Like you said, what if? And sometimes I feel like even though they think ramps and rails are enough, it's really not enough.
No, it's not.
It's not enough. And more children are being born and it's almost like we're not being thought of and those children aren't being thought of. And how are they going to be able to enjoy these things like everyone else?
Right.
And then it makes you think like of all the things that you want to change in the world. And then you're like, wait a minute, you're just one person. And now I'm beginning to like see, let me advocate to this. Let me do this. Let me say this. Let me write about that. So I'm starting to like kind of go through different avenues so that way I can also get my voice heard. You guys, you and another Instagram creator, Pauso, uh, are a great inspiration to me. And that's why I kind of just started opening up and, this is me and I want the world to see who I am.
Yeah, it all starts with you just trying to get yourself out there, just
Yeah.
talk about your feelings, talk about yourself, let people know who you are, that every person is in the world is unique.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of you getting out there and just showing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And just how I see you guys advocating for things like this, like the point that you brought up about the theme parks, it makes me want to do more and connect with people that we can do more. Our voices can be heard for the future because they're going to need it.
Right, because like I did a few months ago, like one time, because you're talking about cerebral palsy, the most common disability in the world. Millions of kids are born with it, yet it's overlooked because you talk about
Yes.
autism, you talk about mental health, you talk about
Yes.
all these other disabilities, but when it comes to CP, it's like it's swept under the rug. So I decided to do was, why don't I take it a step further? So I contacted my university, the university I went to UCF,
Mm.
and I said,
Okay.
why don't we work on lighting UCF green in October and get them aboard? And eventually I got enough signatures to where the university caught up attention. So now
Hmm.
they lit up UCF green. They kind of tested out and they sent me a picture. They're
Nice.
like, we're gonna do it in October. So and I
Nice.
actually
Congratulations.
so I
That's
actually
awesome.
yeah. So I mean it when you really want to advocate and you really want something to happen, you have to take action. Get out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so inspired by you guys, and that's what I plan on doing and moving up a notch. And like you said, possibly statewide, possibly worldwide. I don't know where this is going to go. I just have a small dream that I hope is going to get, huge, ginormous dream that will possibly change people's lives.
Yeah, and the good thing is networking is what we're doing now. Networking with different creators, different
Yes.
organizations,
Yes.
companies. They're all out there.
Yeah. 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 And I love it. I This day and age now, it's all about networking and the social media. So I'm trying to get into it. I'm slowly getting into it, but I can't keep up with the Instagram and the doing the job and the whole
Uh,
recording side of things. And I'm just like,
uh,
but I'm trying.
yeah, that's me. Like sometimes I have to take breaks in between recording because I'm in the middle of working, in the
Yeah.
middle of trying to record and when you're focused so much on your job, sometimes you put everything else aside, but I try to make time for it as much as I
Yeah.
can, and try to reach out to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I really am inspired by you and other creators with cerebral palsy because we make the difference. We make the difference for our
Together,
future.
it's like keyword together, we make the
Hmm.
difference.
Together, exactly, exactly. And I really, really appreciate you inviting me on. Just to kind of talk about Up a Notch because it's like a dream that not very many people know about, but it is a dream that I know is going to get really big with just doing what I've been doing.
It'll happen. Just stay positive and have faith in yourself and in the organization, and you'll get there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. Um, is there like any way that I guess my listeners can find out more information about your organization?
Well, currently I'm running the Instagram. I'm in the middle of getting my licenses and designing my program to get vendorized with San Diego Regional Center and DOR to kind of get the clients going and kind of seeing where this takes us.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. That's fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and like you said, it might be a small dream now, but with the networking and having faith in yourself and that positivity around you, you'll get there.
Yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I just want to let everybody know that if you want to listen to this episode, you're going to find it on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and every other major podcasting outlet out there. Veronica, it's been wonderful having you on today.
Thank
Learning
you.
about your obstacles, how you overcame them, up a notch, and a lot more. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Be safe and take care.